Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Strike Zone with St. Paul Saints Manager George Tsamis. Strike Zone is a weekly program that gives you, the fans, the opportunity to ask the St. Paul manager questions about the Saints, baseball or sports in general, or just seek George's wisdom about life events that are going on out there. In this week's episode, George tells us if he would be interested in taking an affiliate job as a manager or coach. He discusses if the Twins are in trouble because of the red-hot streak of the Kansas City Royals, and who would win an eating contest between Ole and George. So let's find out on Strike Zone. So let's welcome back Manager George Tsamis. George, let's first of all begin with team updates you have for us.
Yeah, we're happy that we had three of our players just get selected for the All-Star game, which will be July 25th in Ottawa. So congratulations to Mark Hamburger, who obviously has been real good this year again. Anthony Gallus, who's been having a really, really good season as well. He was selected, and Tony Thomas is once again getting the job done, and he was selected to be an All-Star as well. So, we have three guys that deserved it, and so we're real happy for them. Obviously it's obviously tough to pick everybody, and Brady Shoemaker is having a really good season, and Caleb Philbar having a really good season, but it's just tough for whoever the manager is to pick the guys. There were some other first basemen that were doing really well, and but again, we have those three guys that made the All-Star team, and a couple more guys deserved it. But again, it's tough to pick everyone, and a lot of other guys around the league that deserved it.
Do you know, are Tony and Anthony chosen then as starters?
Yes. Tony will be the starting second baseman, and Anthony will be one of the starting outfielders. The starting pitcher of the All-Star game, I'm not sure. That's up to Rick Forney wants to do, and so there's it's a nice day, and again, all three guys deserved it.
That's pretty impressive. Well, let's get right to talking about a few things before we head into fan questions this week. You lose Seth Rosine, who signs with the San Francisco Giants organization. What do you do for your closer at this point?
Yeah, I'm real happy for Seth, and he would have made the All-Star team too. He would have been selected, but obviously they're playing to get to the big leagues, and it's real happy for him. He deserved it. He works so hard. He's a great kid, and keeps his mouth shut and does it the right way. And he was 95, 96 miles per hour his last couple of games, and but that's why they're playing. We'll figure it out, and we have some other quality guys down there, and but that's great for him.
I saw Robert Coe came back for you last night, pitched 2 scoreless innings. Do you see him maybe having a role in the bullpen?
I think eventually he'll be a starter. We just don't know when it'll be, but it was good to have him out there. It's his first time he's pitched, and he touched 90 miles per hour, so it's good to have him back. But I would see him being one of the starters. Just not sure when, and but that's what will probably happen.
Just going back to Seth for a moment, did he fall into the veteran category in terms of category?
Unfortunately, he was not a veteran.
Oh, okay.
He's an LS5, so we still have the 5 veterans, and the 5 veterans we have, See, here's the thing, man. It's obviously you can only have 5 veterans, and you lose some guys, and you don't bring back some guys, or some guys we couldn't sign, and you talk about, well, why didn't we bring these guys back? But you can only have 5 veterans, and if you look at our 5 veterans, and Mark Hamburger, Tony Thomas, Brady Shoemaker, and Nate Hansen, and Caleb Philbar, all 5 guys are pretty good, and but again, you can only have 5 of them, and our 5 are pretty good.
Yeah, I would say. I know one of the concerns that you've had so far this season has been the way that the lineup has hit for you. Are you seeing that kind of production that you've been looking for, or are you still looking for something else?
I still think we can be better. We've had a couple big games where we've scored a bunch of runs, but then we have games where we score 2, 3 runs, and it's obviously it's better than it was earlier in the season, but we just need to be a little more consistent in scoring the runs, and we feel we have quality lineup, quality guys in the middle of the lineup. So it's just it can be better, and we all can do better, and hopefully we do better.
Well, let's head to fan questions. We first of all begin with Michael from Andover. He says, I know you never like to lose, but are there teams that it bothers you even more when you lose to them?
Yeah, pretty much. You have the rivalries with Winnipeg and Fargo, and they're excellent teams every year, excellent organizations, and those are big rivalries. And yeah, you don't like losing to them, and it's been doing this for a long time, and they're good rivalries, and it's good for the league.
Jerry from South Minneapolis asks, what happened to Fargo and Winnipeg? They were both so hot early on.
They will both be fine. They're both very good teams, and Fargo's made some changes, and they got De La Cruz back the other day, and they're good. Their pitchers are good. They have some good hitters in their lineup. Just some guys were off to a slow start, but guess what? They'll be there right at the end, and we're not even halfway through the season yet, and both teams are really good. And teams just go through rough patches, and maybe they're going through one, but guess what? They'll be right there at the end, and so will Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls' lineup's good. Their bullpen's excellent. So it's a long season.
Henry from Delano explains, he says, there are rumors that Doug Simonak is thinking of retiring. How weird would that be if that was true?
Yeah, I'm not so sure that is true, and he obviously knows what he's doing. He's been a good manager for a long time, and I wouldn't be so sure of that, of him retiring. I think he'll want to manage as long as he can, and again, he always seems to put good teams on the field, and so I really don't believe that one.
Owen from Northfield asks, he says, isn't it exciting how well Salina is playing lately, at least against Cleburne?
You know what? Salina, I'm telling you, man, they're okay. I'm surprised that they hadn't won more games, because they have some guys that can swing it, a couple good arms, and again, they played us 3 games, and they were in all 3 games, and all 3 of those games against us could have gone either way. So I wouldn't pick them lightly, even though the record shows that they're not getting it done, but because they're in the games.
And their starting pitching staff is really starting to mold now too, and that's been a key. So
yeah, don't take them lightly.
Blake from St. Paul asks, he says, what do you think it says about independent baseball when you have juniors like Pete Rose and Billy Martin managing here? I would think that independent baseball has really come a long way since you first started managing.
Yeah, it gets better and better all the time, and the league is good. It's about winning, and it's exciting, and obviously it can be better. I really enjoy being in this league, and hopefully the league can keep getting better and better, and but it's good and it's exciting.
Heidi sent me her concern question of the week. She said, do you get offers from affiliate clubs to manage or coach, and do you consider them?
I haven't in a while, and I really have no interest in leaving. So I'll be in St. Paul as long as they let me be there. I have no plans of ever leaving, and so let's hope that we're doing this for a long, long time.
Yeah, Heidi, it's okay. George won't abandon us. So.
No, I don't want to leave, and I won't. So hopefully they don't ever make me leave.
Greg from Winnipeg would like to know, he says, George, I noticed Max Garrett's eyewear up in Winnipeg. Are the retro glasses a goof, or are they actually prescription? Is he channeling his inner Darryl Porter?
You know what? He can, whatever he's wearing, I get the prescription, but he can wear whatever he wants. He's done a really good job behind the plate and swinging the bat okay. And the thing with him, he's a great kid, and he keeps his mouth shut, goes and does his job the right way, and you like having guys like Max on your team.
He was telling me that Ole worked with him on his swing a little bit there, and boy, that sure seems to be delivering.
Yeah, Ole's done a good job with him, and again, but you give credit to the player. The player's the one out there doing it, and I'm happy for Max, and again, he's those glasses work for him, and keep wearing them.
Brandon from Bloomington would like to know, he says, are you a believer that your closer should only be used for safe situations if that is possible?
No, not really. Sometimes the game's on the line in the 8th inning, and you want to bring him in then, bring him in then. To me, it's the game sometimes. I remember there was a time, I think it was years ago, I brought in the closer in the 8th inning with bases loaded, like no outs or something, and it was like, why is he doing that? I felt the game was on the line then, and so maybe the heart of the order's up that inning, and sometimes you just got to go do it, and you hope it works out, and and I hear you watch games on TV, and it's even bring a closer in up by 10 runs in the ninth inning. At times he hasn't pitched in a while, and it's why is he doing it? But sometimes the pitchers want the work, they want the inning, and if the pitcher hasn't thrown 5-6 days, and it's not a safe situation. They want the inning. It's not the same throwing the bullpen. They want to get in there and get an inning.
Yeah, I'm curious because I hear this a lot too, is that when a closer will come into a game where the team is up by like 9 runs or something, and he doesn't perform as well, and everybody says, oh, he must need a big clutch situation for him to be able to perform. Are closers coming at that point and trying some new things just because they have a big lead?
Yeah, maybe they're working on things. They're just trying to throw strikes, and maybe they're working on their fourth pitch. Who knows? But it's something that the guys don't like going a week without pitching. So it's you gotta have them give it up in a 9-run game, and it's just they want the innings, they want the work, and they just don't want to sit there and throw bullpens all the time. So that's why you see them in there in those times.
Tyler from Richfield points out that the Royals are getting really hot. So should the Twins fans be concerned?
Yeah, I've seen the Royals have turned it around some, and again, we talk about it all summer long here. That division's anybody, so the Twins are right there hanging in there, and hope they can keep it going. But this is what it is, though. It's like we talked earlier about, Fargo and Winnipeg are off to great starts, and then they're struggling some, but that's the way it happens in baseball anywhere. People go through stretches. Teams go through stretches, and that division is going to come down to the end, and whoever wins it, I don't think we can say, hey, we're surprised about it, because it's anybody's division.
John from Pittsburgh asks, he says, George, I know you were a big fan of Antonio Brown, but I was wondering about your thoughts on him sending out a Facebook video during Coach Tomlin's talk to the team in the locker room.
You know what? I think he was just enjoying the moment, and I don't think he tried to do any harm there. He was just enjoying the moment and just made a mistake, and so it's just one of those things that happened, and probably won't happen again. But that is one outstanding, exciting player, man. You never get sick of watching that guy play.
George's favorite football player.
Tom Brady.
Oh, Tom Brady, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But Antonio Brown is a guy that he's just what an exciting player, and still one of my favorite touchdown celebrations ever is that one time he caught that touchdown and ran in and just jumped on the goalpost, it was unbelievable. And he's a great guy to watch.
So if Antonio Brown was traded to New England, you'd be like in total heaven then.
Yeah, I'd be happy. Yeah, Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, and Gronk, all three of them. That'd be great.
Sean says, "Are you getting excited about football?"
You know what? Not yet. I'm worried about our team, so I haven't bought any football magazines or anything yet. It's too early, and no, I just care about St. Paul Saints right now.
Because of the 4th of July, John from Chaska asked for our last question of the week. Who would win a hot dog eating contest between you and Ole?
I would kill him for sure. I would kill him. There's no, and I would let him know too. It's he can eat though, but I think I have the advantage.
So are you saying you'd not only win, but you'd be talking trash to him the whole time?
Yeah, for sure. And it's yeah, I think I got him. So
excellent. Well, thanks for joining us this week, George.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll see you later, okay?
We want to thank Manager George Tsamis for joining us on Strike Zone this week. If you have your own questions you'd like to ask the St. Paul Saints skipper, please send them to us at askgeorge@minorleaguesportsreport.com. That's askgeorge@minorleaguesportsreport.com. Please have your questions to us by Saturday evening so we can give the skipper a little time to review them before we record the show. I'm Rob Pannier, the managing editor of the Minor League Sports Report, and we'll see you next time on Strike Zone.